Hey y'all, it's Diana from the Dianaverse, and I'm here today to talk about the very dramatic Libra new moon eclipse that's going on today, October 14th, 2023. So I want to start this video out by saying I made an error in my last video on the full moon. So I was talking a lot about how Libra and the equinoxes were Libra and Taurus, and that's incorrect. The spring equinox is on Ostara, which is in Aries, so that's like about a month before that. Libra and Taurus are actually still in conjunct. That part was right. And actually the energy that I was talking about was totally there because we just happened to have our nodes of the moon in Libra and Aries right now. So the energy that I was talking about is there. And there is definitely that inconjunct between the moon, between Taurus and Libra. So all of the combinations of energies are there, but I don't want y'all to learn the wrong thing from me. So the equinoxes are opposite each other. They're not inconjunct. The inconjunct energy was there in the last lunation that we had, but I want you to have that straight, that the spring equinox is actually in Aries. Okay, now that energy is still carrying forward with this particular lunation with the new moon, because those nodes are still in Aries and Libra, and there's a lot of tension going on with that. This is a very dramatic new moon. You know, the moon is always reflecting the light of the sun, right? And then at the new moon, you have the earth blocking the sun's light to the moon. And so you're not getting that reflection back of whatever the sun is doing. In this case, it happens to be in Libra. And our new moons in this period of time are at the end of the cycle, which is a little interesting. So it's a little fuzzy on setting your new intentions, creating your new things. This particular lunation, also because the nodes are there, it's the south node. So it's more about letting go or getting out of your comfort zone, which would have been in Libra, in your relationships, and if you're an artist or something, in your creations, maybe you're moving on to a new cycle with those things, relationships, creation of beautiful objects, maybe something changing very much in your appearance that you're letting go of. So those relationships are going to be having a bit of a finality to them. Pluto is squaring the nodes on this particular eclipse, putting even more pressure. That's that Pluto that has retrograded back into Capricorn. So things that might be coming up where you're like, you know, I'm going over this again and I am so done, right? So moving on, we can see that in the larger world with countries interacting with each other, which is a little sad because there are people getting hurt, but don't want to go too far into that. People get super emotional if things get political. So we all know what's going on out there and how people feel. Feelings are coming up. We've got Saturn is still in Pisces. So that's, Pisces is kind of the collective, and it's a water sign, so it's more of the collective emotions. Saturn is like where you hit a wall and not always a feel-good thing. It's where reality hits in. There's also a yod that is pointing at this particular new moon, and it is a yod with the legs in, make sure I remember this right. I didn't want to read from scripts, y'all, because it makes it a little less interactive with the camera. But the one leg of that is in Neptune in Pisces, also in Pisces. Neptune is a watery planet, a whole watery planet where things You can have positive things like your intuition and your inspiration, but it can also be delusion, things that are happening secretly. You know, if you think about something going on under the water, you can't see that. So it can be deception going on, things that will come out later. It's in retrograde. We won't see the results of that till it starts to go direct again. And then the other leg of that is in... shoot. What sign was the other leg in? I think it's the Uranus in Taurus. So we've seen some of that going on too, because Uranus is sudden changes, unexpected, didn't see that coming, right? And then Taurus is an earth sign, so that's in the earth. Literally had another big earthquake that was in Afghanistan. Lots of people got killed. And the structure, like, how do we even get help to them because of the changing political scene there? It's very complicated to get aid in, and or at least it seems that way. And so that's another big surprise thing outside of the surprise war stuff going on. So a lot of disruption, a lot of change. We hope in time that it creates a better moving forward, but of course it's not better for anybody that's suffering or in pain or getting killed, right? My heart goes out to anyone who is suffering through this. Now when you have a yod, so the yod is pointing right at the sun and moon. There's a midpoint between the two legs of the yod that's the eclipse point, so it's like opposite where the eclipse is. And that is hitting Chiron in Aries, which is the north node, which is like where we're trying to build, where we're trying to move forward. More personal. Aries is a more personal, ruled by Mars, more personal planet than something like Pluto, which is the outer planets are more societal and bigger, gears moving. The Chiron, you know, it's an asteroid, it's out there, but it's in that Aries, that's the more personal wounding. So some of the answers to some of these things, some of the big changes going on will be built through relationships, because this eclipse is in Libra, but it's going to be more the one-on-one interactions that build solutions or build healing going forward as we go into the future with that north node. So it all kind of works together, but it's not easy. We have some planets that are changing signs. So you've got Mars just went into Scorpio. Big surprise, right? He's more at home there. He gets more done. So you may have a boost of energy, especially if you have any important planets in your chart in Scorpio, or where Mars is in your chart. You can take a look, and you could have a nice boost of energy there for the next 4 weeks. Try to use it constructively, right? Don't use it to fight or tear things up, hopefully. But especially for our Scorpios and wherever your Mars is in your chart, you could have a lot of focus and energy where maybe you've been, because Mars was in Libra, which is, you know, it's a sign of the diplomat. Clearly some diplomatic things haven't worked. And it moved into Scorpio, so it's ready to move forward and take more on. Use it constructively. I'll just leave it there. We've also got Mercury that will be moving. You know, Mercury's going Cazimi, which means it's right with the sun. And so that will be like flashes of insight, flashes of information that come out. And it's going to be moving along with the sun into Scorpio, because the sun will be moving within the next, I believe in the next week. I don't have the computer right in front of me, but we're at the end of Libra. So it'll be moving into Scorpio, and Mercury's going to go with it. So there could be more hidden information coming out. More information about the wars and things. But also, you know, more information that leads to getting things done, to help constructively move things along, hopefully. So that's a lot to digest already. I was out this morning and looking at that new moon eclipse with the help of some eclipse glasses, because here in Seattle we had 80% totality, and you could really, you really couldn't see it with the naked eye. I was a little surprised at how much of the sun can be covered and you still get light from it. So we're still getting like the Libra energy. We're still getting the wheels of justice, or the scales of justice, I guess I should say. That's the picture. I've heard Rick Levine say that Libra is the sign of civilization. It's the only sign that doesn't have a person representing it. It's the scales of justice, and so it's more about civilization. There's still, overarching in humanity some sort of sense of structure, hopefully, that will prevail, and things get rebuilt. And even though so much of the light is blocked out on this day, there's still light that gets around, right? That gets around that. With the naked eye, I could not see that eclipse happening. It got a little dimmer, in the daylight, but a lot of people walking around didn't even notice. With the eclipse glasses, I could totally see how that moon was totally moving across the face of the sun, which was really fun and interesting. Hope whatever you're building, it's moving forward without too much that you've got to let go of. If you're not proactive about building things, sometimes things come along to knock them down, to make you change it. So be proactive, not reactive. And I guess that's it until the next lunation, when we have our full moon in 2 weeks. I'm going to be traveling, so I'm going to try to do these on time. Obviously, today's was a little bit late because the eclipse happened this morning. But eclipses are big energy, and we're going to still be working with this energy for the next 6 months. So whatever you start building, Saturn is in Pisces, which is, the greater collective, and what does this all mean, But it's at like almost 0 degrees. So we're just at the beginning of this cycle with Saturn of whatever we're building in our lives. It's not going to be like, boom, today, tomorrow. This is going to be a longer process than we think at first, when we first change things up. So look to be exploring these things over the next 6 months. For Libra, I would suggest for our plant friends this lunation to use balancing things. Adaptogens would be really good. I think I went with adaptogens either last lunation or the one before. I'm going to suggest that. So this is going to be your ashwagandha, which is extracted with fats. So if you do like a golden milk with turmeric and ashwagandha, you're going to want to use some sort of fat, either like butter, cream. If you're vegan, you can go for the coconut, full fat coconut milk to make your tea with, to extract all the goodness out of there. And that's what I'm going to suggest as we're moving also into the cooler months. Those nice hot moon teas are really supportive and nurturing of the earth element in our bodies. We've got this Uranus rampaging around in Taurus with our earth signs. You want to really support that immune system. And I think for my stone friends this month, I am going to recommend jasper. Jasper is very healing for the earth element. You can go with red jasper. It's really, great for like circulation and action. Or you could go with the green, which is great for the heart chakra. If you've got healing you need to do there, like all this energy flying around is a bit much, use that green jasper. We find both of them here in the Seattle area. I found them both out in the wild, so to speak. And I'm sure you can easily find those are very common crystals. And I had another thought and it left me. So maybe I'll come back next time. But yeah, be kind to each other. Work on the personal relationships that you want to have in your life. Make them strong. And talk to y'all in 2 weeks. All right, take care. Bye.